Hey, have you ever needed advice at a moment's notice? Say hello to OWL. Connect, learn, grow. OWL connects you to your favorite professionals instantly through live audio calls and is focused on making it easy to seek and provide advice. The process is simple. Sign up and create your profile by telling us about yourself. Choose your experts according to your preferences. You can filter them based on their ratings, cost per call, and expertise. Follow your favorites to be immediately notified when they go active on OWL. Just a tap can get you instantly connected on a real-time call. You can pick their brain with any questions, review some of their past experiences, or just chat about an upcoming project. Rate your expert and provide feedback so others can benefit from this wisdom too. It's that easy. Do you know what's also interesting? You can discover engaging videos, just like TikTok, by scrolling through clips created by professionals. So why not sign up today and make the best investment of your life?
Enter my referral code MC333699 during sign up to get us both a $10 referral bonus. Creativepreneur lifestyle. Ever heard of that? Oh my gosh, I love it. My guest today is all about that lifestyle, and I cannot wait for you to listen to this episode. Let's get started. You are listening on your favorite podcast provider, or perhaps watching this show on your big TV screen. Regardless, I'm excited to have you. My name is Martine Cadet, and I am the host of the Visualize and Create show. You will be able to meet amazing individuals that are going to inspire you, motivate you, and give you the tools for you to visualize and create whatever it is that you want. Make sure you check out the show notes and share this with a friend. Welcome to another episode of the Visualize and Create show. My name is Martine Cadet, your host, and I am so passionate about curating amazing individuals from all over the world, coming from all walks of life, to come share with you what they've been able to create as a result of visualizing everything that they wanted in their lives. And today's guest, his name is Alan, and we met at Podfest. Now, if you don't know what Podfest is, it's a great conference, right? Where all creators, honestly, particularly podcasters, get together, network and do business together and beyond, and become friends too, right? But the great thing about Alan and I is that we ended up connecting initially because we won, right? We won the best graphics, professional graphics, that is, promoting the event. And so I'm super excited to have Alan today. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Alan. Such a pleasure having you.
Yes, we are co-champions. I love that title. You can never say, when they say, we made it to the top, you can never say we haven't made it to the top. When you can, you raise a trophy of any kind. It's such a pleasure to be on your show. Looking forward to this conversation.
Excellent. You are the one that had a vision and decided to create. And now you are this creativepreneur. And I love that name, that title. Can you share with us, watching, listening, your journey and how it all started? Because I always say this in all my episodes. We did not wake up like this yesterday, right? It's a whole journey. So walk us through, Alan, what, before you tell us what you do today, what has the journey looked like for you?
To be very quick with and to kind of give the audience a look at who I am. Now I am a husband. Now I'm a father. I'm a creative. And I always say my fourth one is I'm forgiven. That's kind of like my four names if you need to know anything about me. But where I started from was from music. I mean, my mother was a music teacher. My father still loves to sing, whistles very well. He's a very tuneful whistler. So I grew up with music, and he and she put me in music classes, graduated from the University of Miami with a jazz degree with piano and music education. So music has been the first tier of my life. It's always been something I started from and always considered as my, my gifting, I guess you could say. And that's where my creative side comes from. But however, as you might know, it's kind of hard to make a living doing music. Not all of us are Beyonce or Jay-Z. And so it came to a place where I had to figure out, like, how am I going to make a living doing this? If I'm not a teacher, if I'm not working, where I also worked a little time as a full time minister, and unless you had like some of those full time things, it's kind of hard to make a living. So that's where my journey started. Is how do I figure out how to do what I like, but not feel like I'm either out of balance with my family, out of balance with my beliefs, out of balance with just income and finances. Like, how does this work? And so that's really where my vision started to create what I've created now with my both AlanCPaul.com and ACP Rights and God and Gigs. It's all about like, okay, how does this really work? I've got a wife and kids, and I got to make a living, with this music thing. So how does this work? That's kind of where it started. And, after that became a obsession, I guess you could say, and also a platform and a business.
For you listening and watching, you're probably thinking, yeah, that's easy to say, Alan. Like, you had a passion. You're like, okay, how can I monetize this so I could live my passion and do something that I want? But it's so hard. I think it's easier to just go and apply for a job and clock in, clock out. What would you say to this person that's thinking like that right now? You are watching or listening to the Visualize and Create show. Interrupting really quickly this episode with a message from one of our guests.
It's me, Dana Haysburg, the Vision Builder. I would love to connect with you. Feel free to find me on my Instagram at the Vision Builder Co. Or you can find me on LinkedIn as Dana Haysburg, the Vision Builder. I would love to connect with you. If you are looking for clarity in terms of your vision for yourself or for your business, if you are looking to find a way to make this idea that's in your mind a reality, then you definitely want to head over to my link and reserve some time with me one-on-one to discuss your vision. I look forward to meeting with you. Enjoy the rest of this episode.
The 2 times that I walked away from full-time positions, I walked away from my full-time position as a teacher. And I also, again, it's so weird, even now, 10 years later to say it, I walked away from a full-time position in a religious institution in a church. So both times I basically said, okay, I've got something steady. Let's give it up. That sounds like a very bad strategy, right? But what I've told people in other interviews is that I may not have been confident, but I was convicted. I was convicted that what I needed to do to kind of explore this would not happen in the environment I was in. As long as I was safe, as long as I had like, oh, well, as long as I just wait a couple more weeks and maybe this will happen, maybe this will happen. As long as I was playing it safe, I would never even take the first step. And so the first thing I would say to that person is, hey, you may be giving up more than you realize by playing it safe. I never would have what I have now if I had played it safe, stayed in those full-time positions. But the second thing I would say is you don't have to eat the elephant at one time, one bite at a time. Take small steps. Start the small side hustle. I'm on a couple of apps right now where it's like you get paid $5 just to get some advice. You can also start a little website on the side and start a PayPal link and just try things out. Don't think you have to leave everything at once. You can be your own patron and just kind of finance your side hustle until you get to the point that you realize, hey, this has legs. This may work. Give yourself the confidence. So that's the second thing I would say. Number one, you got to eventually take the risk. But number two, you don't have to take the risk all at once.
That is so important to share that. I love that. Thank you. Because I think a lot of us, I believe strongly that many of us look at social media particularly, and we feel that rush. We feel that, I know I was there, Alan, not too long ago. I was sitting in my corporate job. In fact, one of the first episodes of this video podcast is my story on how I was laid off as a result of the pandemic. Now, I do want to say though, Alan, you and I are active creators and you have a podcast, which by the way, I'm so glad that you're still listening up to this point and watching this up to this point. That means to us that you're invested, and stay put because Alan's going to share more about how to connect with him and listen to his podcast. And it's all in the show notes between. And so, but before we do that, I want Alan to share with us, a little bit about how are you maintaining that resilience of continuing to create for yourself? Not too long ago, you shared about that full-time position that you walked away from. Like, how are you keeping up with all of this? Because it's a lot. Tell us.
Wow, it is right. And I'm glad you brought up the social media side, because that comparison thing is a real thing. It's almost like I've heard somebody on a podcast yesterday say they feel like they traded in a 9 to 5 job for a 24/7 job, because now every time you pick up your phone, you feel like you got to jump back in. How do I maintain the resilience? Such a great question. I do believe a lot of this does have to do with, again, I'm big on these little things, right? Not despising the little things, the little comments, the one like, the one person that follows, the one person, because there's so much of this where we think, oh, if I don't make it big, I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and your resilience drops. So I'm always about, hey, did one person follow today? Did one person smile? Did I do what did I call the 3 S's? Did I share? Did I make someone smile? And did I solve someone's problem? And each one of those can be just one person. Okay. One person's problem was solved. One thing was shared. One person smiled. My membership is not millions of people, but the person that I do currently have is one of my star fans in my membership. She said on one of her tweets, "This is the best money I've ever spent." She just went through quadruple bypass surgery. She's a jazz trumpet player, IT tech. She's right in that place that you're talking about, getting ready to visualize something. And the fact that I could be the person that she says this is money well spent to pursue my dream, even though everything's hitting her right now, let me tell you, that is bigger than any audience. So that's how I stay resilient. Don't look for the big numbers. Don't look for the millions of people, the viral. Remember the one person you serve each day, and it's got to be worth it, because if you're passionate about it, it will be worth it. And then if you can find one, you can find 100, you can find 1,000.
Bravo, bravo. Here's my French coming out. I love it. Yes, I'm all about it. I have my pom-poms up. And if you're not watching, I actually don't, but I wish I had pom-poms. This was awesome. I always say this too, like it's about the quality, not quantity. Be human. So many people forget, to your point, that social media is social, right? It's about that comment. They forget about that. And so if there's anything I hope that you've picked up from this conversation, okay, be yourself, right? Alan, we're saying be yourself, take one step at a time, primarily really dive into that passion, right? That passion has to be top of mind. So good, Alan. I love it. And so let's take a moment before we end the show, Alan, to share with the audience, whether they're listening or watching, what you've included in the show notes. And I just want to say as well, this is your first episode, but it's not the last. So I'm warning you, you're coming back. And so tell us a little bit about your what you have included in the show notes for us today.
Well, number one, I will be a faithful listener and watcher. That's the first thing. So if you're not watching and listening right now, what are you doing? Why haven't you subscribed? You're late. But number two, I do really, really, really have a passion for helping creatives, specifically in my area, faith-focused creatives. My podcast and book are called God and Gigs: How to Succeed as a Creative Without Sacrificing Your Faith. So you can find that at godandgigs.com. And the effort I'm making to help creatives really is right in the space we're talking about, Martine, about how do you survive and thrive leaving and walking away, as I've done twice, from full-time positions and trying to make that transition. So I have a free resource that helps you to do just that. It's called The 4 Questions You Must Ask Before You Leave Your Full-Time Position. It's at godandgigs, godandgigs.com/questions. And that's a free resource. It just gives you like that little, again, a little nudge of, hey, here's what you think your problem is, but here's the real thing you got to address. And here's how to get your mindset ready for that leap. So that's a free resource. I hope to go check that out. Everything else that you can find on me at godandgigs.com and or alancpaul.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. And listen, for you watching or listening, remember, when you hit up Alan in the DMs or you message him on LinkedIn, just let him know you saw him on the Visualize and Create show. Okay. Just want you to know that. You have to tell him. I'm not going to say why. Just tell him that. And so, Alan, thank you again so much for coming on the show. I look forward to having you again. You brought up amazing, strong, important, vital points that I know for anyone listening or watching, I would encourage them to rewind, okay, listen again, because these are important points. And especially if you are at that stage, as you shared with your member who tweeted the tweet that you shared, if you're in that space where you're in the process of creating, okay, there are very important points that we made in this conversation that you might just want to rewind and re-listen to and take notes, because you can do it. If Alan and I are able to do it, I'm sure you can. No reason why. All right. And so thank you again, Alan. You guys, I will see you in the next episode. Remember to like, subscribe, share with a friend, connect with me, connect with Alan, message us. We're here to help you. We wake up every day to serve you. All right. And so keep visualizing, keep creating, keep showing up. You got this. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have just listened or watched the Visualize and Create show. Don't forget to download our app and make sure to leave us a review. And before I go, I do want you to visit my website, martinecadet.com. Browse around. There's a lot of stuff in there. I have a store. I also have great services available for you so that you can visualize and create anything that you want. I will see you in the next episode.